Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we're going to discuss a bunch of very, very dangerous people who should on no account ever be anywhere near children. Every single member of this organisation should be on a register and should be monitored because they represent a direct threat to children, to their psychological safety and probably their physical safety. These people are dangerous. They are far left extremists. They are themselves a hate group. I'm talking about Stonewall, an organisation that morphed from being for gay and lesbian rights, and all those rights have been given, and it had nothing left to do. So it's gone down the trans line, and now it is targeting, effectively, babies. These groups, they just love children, don't they? Every single one of them, they want to get their grubby little hands on children. And you have to wonder why. Here's this article. Now, we know how toxic Stonewall are. They are effectively a protection racket. You give us lots of money so we can put a plaque on your wall, or else we'll tell people you're not socially progressive and it'll damage your business. Won't damage my business, love. I don't care. I don't care. But I can feel the bile rising because I've read ahead and I know what's coming. This group is toxic. It is a hate group. It should really be on the terrorist watch list. That's how bad these people are. Let's get into this. It is appalling. If this doesn't make you angry, I don't know what will. You certainly need to be making sure that they're nowhere near your children's nurseries, your children's schools. State-sponsored hate group Stonewall. Children aged 2 can be trans. Nurseries should teach gender identity. These are 2-year-olds. They can barely speak in some cases. You know what 2-year-olds are like. Sucking on a bit of Lego. That's your game. You're still toddling. Maybe wandering around with a sausage in your hand. Wanting a biscuit. And they're saying you can be trans. These people are sick. They're depraved. They need to be taken out of society for even thinking this. So getting into the meat here. The far-left state-funded Stonewall organisation says children as young as 2 can be trans and gender identity should be taught in nursery schools. I should tell you what should happen to Stonewall, and it involves a wall and a squad. You can offer them a cigarette and a blindfold. This week, an unnamed mother penned an article in the Metro newspaper about her allegedly gender non-conforming 4-year-old daughter. This is a mother who's not doing her job. And how her nursery school failed to respect her supposed transgender identity. I suspect it's a boy. And he's a 4-year-old boy. Anyway, in response to the article, the leftist LGBTQP Stonewall group wrote, research suggests... What research? Get to Kennel. Research suggests that children as young as 2 recognise their trans identity. What research? Research from your fetid, disgusting minds, perhaps. Yet many nurseries and schools teach a binary understanding of pre-assigned gender. That's because gender is binary and pre-assigned. LGBTQP inclusive and affirming education is crucial for the well-being of all young people. No, it's crucial for your continued existence as a hate group. Contrary to the claims from Stonewall, studies have found that most children who display transgender tendencies grow out of the phase as they age. Yes, because children are malleable and soft and a bit thick. You know, let's be honest, they're not educated. They're 2. A 2021 study from the University of Toronto of gender dysphoric boys, for example, found that only 17 of the 139 participants persisted in their transgender expression, as opposed to 122 who reverted back to their traditional gender norms. And what Stonewall want to do is to push these children, these 122, who would otherwise revert. Oh, no, you're transgender. Here, take these drugs. This is a one-way street. You must take the drugs. Push our agenda. Here's your ghoulies. We'll cut them off. That's great. Because this group is a hate group that targets children. They themselves are Ps. Every single one of them who joins or is a member of this organisation is a P. They're either a direct P themselves or they're a fellow traveller because they want to get hold of your children. These people should be strung up. Though the government organisations have distanced themselves from Stonewall over its radical positions on transgenderism, and former Minister for Women and Equalities, what kind of department is that? That was one invented by Blair, isn't it? And then that Harperson, Harriet the P lover Harperson, the woman, the Labour, she was the Labour spokesman for the P Information Exchange, a group who set up to get their little hands on children. She was their spokesman. So Labour set up this group, this ministry of women and ethnicities and minorities and things, and then put someone who was the voice of the P's in charge. And that tells you all you need to know about Labour, because they also love to get their hands. See, it's all the left. It's always the left want to get their hands on your children. Anyway, Liz Truss, getting back to it, has called for all departments to follow suit and ban Stonewall because they're a hate group. The charity still receives the backing of the Foreign Office. Well, it always will with the Foreign Office. Jesus, they work against the government. And the Equalities Office, well, they have to, because it's otherwise their job's on the line. And both the Scottish and Welsh regional devolved governments, both of whom are extremely left-wing. The charity has also come under criticism from Simon Fanshawe, one of the 6 founders of the group. Now, he was a gay man, and yes, let's be fair, back in the day, gay people did not have the same rights as straight people. That's what he fought for. He helped found this organisation. He cannot stand this organisation. He hates where this organisation has gone, and he's actually been thrown out of the organisation by their own members because gay people have got their rights now, and so Stonewall has had the cancer of trans, and is actually throwing out the gay people because it's only trans now because it's got no other identity. And what do? This group, it targets children as young as 2. I bet they'd love to go into maternity wards. Jesus, can you imagine them getting into children's minds, and not only their minds, I suspect, with this lot. Anyway, he said earlier this year that this is Simon Fanshawe again, he said earlier this year that his stance on transgenderism is threatening to undermine the gains made for gay people. Stonewall's reputation is discredited and its credibility squandered by trans activists, not by all trans people, he hastened to add, who they believe can dictate what everyone is allowed to say and think. That's right. They think, the trans lobby, the Stonewall, say, we control what you say and what you think. Well, I've got 2 words for you. The second one is off. You weird, degenerate scum. You leave children alone, you peas. I've got to be so careful what you say here. I'm going to be editing for ages. Anyway, nevertheless, Stonewall continues to exert considerable power within the United Kingdom. It shouldn't. It's a hate organisation. It should be made onto a watch list, and every member should be arrested and completely investigated. Every single aspect of their lives. In June, for example, a whistleblower from the NHS revealed that contracts granted to medical suppliers worth millions are being awarded based on whether the firms conform to Stonewall's ideology. Not value for money. They're pissing money away because we could buy it cheaper from this company, but they've got a plaque on the wall because they've paid Stonewall the protection money. This is where it is. They are criminals. I mean, they really are. But they're worse than sort of the protection racket's like criminal. We're talking special measures criminal. We're talking put them in a unit in a prison, well away from the general population, because the general population, they don't like people who interfere with children. Responding to the group's latest claims about how 2-year-olds can recognise their transgender identity, feminist Julie Bindel said, I would have these sadistic monsters arrested for child A. Calvin Robinson said, some people have mental health issues about their sex and should be treated with compassion. We shouldn't indulge their fantasies. That's harmful. It is, and these dangerous left-wing extreme haters need all to be investigated. Every single product they own gone through with a fine-tooth comb, because I guarantee there'll be CP on virtually every single one of them. They're all mentally screwed. They're mentally ill, but they're also a direct and clear and present danger to children. I'm going to come up now before I go bang and explode. This must be fought at every opportunity. Every chance we have, we must highlight what these people are, what these people say, what these people do. They're going into schools. They're targeting children. Your children. my children. They want to corrupt and destroy children. The psychological damage alone is probably unfixable for most of these kids. And once you start down the line of physically altering bodies, there is no coming back. They want to sterilise children and drive families apart. This is the left. This is always the left. The left hate families because families stick together stronger than political ideology. And they cannot abide that. And it is always the left. And Stonewall is as far left as you can get. And that's why they target children. Babies. They're dangerous. Every single one of them is dangerous. They should be on a watch list. They should be shunned from society. They should be made to look the dangerous child threat that they are. Anyway, I shall finish here before I explode. If you like what you see and hear on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.